So hi, I want to really welcome you, Bonnie and Lynn, to Earlscliffe School. My name's Caroline Dial and I'm the photography A-level teacher, and I really look forward to meeting you both and to share my expertise as a photographer and as a passionate photography teacher. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the mobile phone. This has been an integral part of our lives. So photography is something that we are constantly reminded of, surrounded by, whether it's on our mobile phones, whether it's with surveillance cameras, but cameras are an integral part of our life. So during the course, I will be teaching you small bite sizes to really build on your confidence, but I'll be teaching you how to use a camera, just like this. So you will at some point need to purchase a digital SLR camera, but for the beginning of the course it's not essential. However, if you know anyone in your family that has one, then it would be great for you just to sort of have a little play, certainly over the summer, and get some experience. But if you don't, a mobile phone is totally sufficient. Plenty of photographers that use mobile phones, the cameras on them are very good. So for the initial start of the course, that's fine. All I want from you is an absolute passion for the subject and an enthusiasm to take photos, and not to feel overwhelmed, but to regularly take pictures so it becomes something of a routine for you. Because it can be a bit daunting to physically pick up the camera and go off to take a purposeful shoot, because a lot of the time we use the camera as a sort of casual snapshot, selfies. We won't be doing that on the course. It's all about communicating an idea. So I've got various resources I'll be sharing with you. I have created a YouTube channel along with Mrs. Gratham as well, the art teacher. So we both have our YouTube channels to make our lessons accessible and for you to constantly refer back to recap. So mine is on the YouTube channel, Caroline Dial, and then you can start to see some of the lessons that I've been sharing with my students. But I'll be tailoring and making many more over the summer, just to make sure that the whole course is accessible online. And the course is great. The course is incredibly creative. We work really closely as a department, sharing good practice, so the art students support the photography students, and likewise. We have a studio facility in the classroom, which is great, and students have taken some stunning work through that, and you'll be able to see that on some of the YouTube videos. But my general passion for the subject is it's completely open. We have a criteria to follow, but it's very much your subject. So it's a case that you decide on your theme and you decide what you want to explore, and then it's very organic. You can bring your drawing skills in, painting skills. It's all about having fun and experimenting and not being afraid to take risks. And I really want you to do that. I want you to really take leaps of faith during the course, challenge yourself, work outside of your comfort zone, go and photograph things or people that you wouldn't normally. So try to make it more engaging so you are being stretched, and then you really will see the potential of what you can achieve. So I just wish you a fantastic summer. I've put together a sort of video about what I'd like you to do over the summer. So I would like you to start looking at the formal elements, but I've also put together a very simple 30-day challenge, which just means that every day you're going to be shooting, and that's really important. So try and get that to become a habit. And the same with art, for drawing, painting. Do something every day so that you will be developing your eye, seeing things, observing things, and then it will become more natural. It's like anything, you've got to nurture it, you've got to invest that time and energy for it to really develop. And it is really, skills one level, but really it's about your determination and your will to just keep working hard at it, and it won't feel like work because it will just feel like a genuine love. So so I will stop talking now, because I do like to talk, but have a look at the video about the formal elements and enjoy the challenge. I will include my email address. Any queries you want to reach out to me over the summer or before, that's fine. But good luck, and I really look forward to meeting you in person. Okay, take care. Bye bye. So hi Bonnie and Lynn, here I am introducing the summer project for the photography A-level course. So please follow. So during the summer project, I'm going to ask you to start looking at the formal elements. So in this short video, you're going to find out about the formal elements and how they're used within your images, within your photographs, to create a balanced composition. So, what are the formal elements? Well, the formal elements are what is used to sort of construct an image. So there's different elements within a photo or an image, a drawing, a painting, which you'll often find that quite a lot of images will have a combination of formal elements. So we have shape, tone, texture, line, form, pattern and colour. And together these create what we call a composition, structure of the image. So the first formal element is line. Now line is a great formal element to use because you can use the line to lead the viewer's eye through the photo. So this is a great example here that demonstrates that. So Faye Godwin's image here, she used the road markings to sort of direct your eye here towards the this point here, which is like a vanishing point because all the lines converge to one point. So the lines here are really graphic and they pull you into the image. In a contrast, you've got Henri Cartier-Bresson's picture here, which is showing a curved line. So your eye is following the motion of this line and then the motion of the cyclist cycling by. And then you've also got this sort of rotation curved staircase too. So lines are a really useful way to create structure, to lead your eye and to create like an order, like this here with the back of Jeff Wall's photo here with the brick wall. Creates good juxtaposition against the movement of the milk as it's spilling. So lines can be effective elements of composition because they give structure to your photos. Lines can unify composition by directing the viewer's eyes and attention to the main point of the picture, or leads the eyes from one part of the picture to another. So we would call that the focal point of the image. And then the lines can create division and create patterns within the image. And then through the lines you can create a sense of depth as well and enhance perspective in your images. And then through this depth it really creates this illusion of space. So tone is another formal element. So tone is all about the subtle graduations between the light and the dark areas. So we can see the lovely subtle skin tones here of the delicate hand and the adult's hand. And here as well, the skin tones in Robert Mapplethorpe's image here, where the figure looks really strong. And that's through the way the model's been lit, but also through the subtle tones of the of his skin. And the way he's sitting as well, like the physical structure of his body. And then you've got, in contrast, then you've got the Imogen Cummingham's images here with the leaves and then the subtle, delicate tones within them. So tone is literally, it's the graduations between the light and the dark. And then with tone, it creates depth and form and texture to your images. So you'll find that pictures start to look a bit more three-dimensional because of the use of tone. So this student, basically, this is what I will want you to do, and I'll explain this at the end of the short video, is to take a photo that you feel represents that formal element. So this student here, Alice, has taken these pictures of lines, and you can see the lines of the structure of the building leading your eye up through the image. And she's also written about what lines means and how her images shows a good use of line and how it relates to Henri Cartier-Bresson. This is good practice to always, visually connect your work to someone else's. And she's also done the same here with the tone. Very subtle tone here of literally just a windowsill and the window, but you can see it looks three-dimensional. So the next formal element is shape. Shape is all about outlines, looking at strong shapes within your images. So you can see here with Bill Brandt, the model almost looks flat here because the contrast is so high, it's so strong. The whites, the highlights are so bright, and then the blacks are so solid. That you get these silhouettes almost. And the same here with Laszlo Mahoney-Nagy's images here. You get really strong shapes. And then Edward Weston's as well with the sand dunes here. So shape is really, homing in, focusing. You'll see with a lot of these pictures, they're taken up close, so they're filling the frame. So it's the outline of an object. That is what shape is. So you can see it best through a silhouette or a shadow. And then you can use photos to create sort of nice, strong forms within your images. Texture. Now, texture is a great formal element, and you really need to make sure that you're taking your pictures using good available light, because often if a light is strong and it's being lit from the sides, like this image here with Karl Blossfeldt, you can see the light is this side and here it's in the shadows, and that really emphasises the texture. It makes it look really three-dimensional. And again here as well, you can see with the lighting, it's made the peeling poster look really graphic and strong. So texture is a great way to sort of capture the surface and the material of what you're photographing. So texture is the surface quality that can be seen and felt. So when you take your photos, you can really emphasize the details of that in the photos. And the best way to do that is through the lighting and getting really up close to what you're photographing. Fill your frame. Make sure that everything that's in that frame that you're taking that picture is there for a reason. So here we've got example here, we've got the texture, so you've got that lovely rusting texture there. So that really ties in nicely with Ivan Penn's cigarette butts, which again just look all worn and deteriorating. So that connects quite nicely. And then here with this image of shape, Alice has linked this with Robert Mapplethorpe. So you've got quite a clear, obvious shape, and that is because she's photographed it on a very neutral background. If she'd photographed this on this as a background, it would have become confused. So if you want to emphasize shape, make sure you don't have too much happening in the picture so it doesn't get too cluttered, and you can see what's happening in the picture by keeping the composition simple. And then we've got form. Form is great as well. So that's, again, like I was saying with the texture, really think about the use of light. So you can see here another image by Karl Blossfeldt. The light is coming in here, which is then casting this into the shadow. And that's what that makes that so three-dimensional. And then this wonderful, famous image here. And this is just a pepper. Edward Weston's photographed it in such a beautiful way that it almost looks like a reclining figure. But you can see all the lovely subtle tones and then the form as well, the structure of the picture. The same here with Sebastian Salgado's, with the hands here and the cloth as well. There's real depth to these images. So form is like the three-dimensional equivalent of shape. and it's really emphasised through the use of lighting, and that if you've got good quality lighting, then you'll get a real rich, diverse range of sort of tonal range, and that's what gives it that three-dimensional quality. And pattern. Now, pattern, it can be repetition, it can be something which creates a sort of order and structure to your pictures. Here we've got Bernard Hiller-Becher's images, their typological studies, very systematic in the way that they hang and present their work to show that they're a set of images that belong to each other. I mean, you've also got Andreas Gursky's here, all these sweets, the way he's taken this photo within this German supermarket really emphasises the pattern of all the shapes and colours all merging together. So pattern is about repeating elements, and this creates unity and structure within your pictures. So really, think about what you might see and little details. It is about looking closely at what's around you. Often things that are overlooked can be some of the most beautiful things. So here, Alice has just photographed a detail of the pattern on a window, and it's beautiful. It's lovely, really lovely tonal range, and you wouldn't necessarily know what it is because she's framed it in such a way. She's got up close, and then it's got all that lovely detail. So those can often create more interesting images when you're not giving away exactly what you photographed. So that can make the pictures more intriguing and engage the viewer. And then this image here, again, this sort of shows form, the three-dimensional qualities, and relates to Karl Blossfeldt's image as well here. Now, colour. Colour is so important. Colour evokes so many different emotions. You've got warm colours, you've got cool colours. So you can really dramatise that colour. Be playful. Think about the colour palette. Complementary colours. Purple and yellow, red and green, orange and blue. Really be intentional. When you're taking these pictures, make it obvious what you're photographing. So they add dimension to your images, more than, say, a black and white. So they add another sort of layer to the pictures, and they do evoke a real sense of a mood, a feeling within the image as well. And they draw the viewer's eye into the pictures. So a combination of those formal elements is what we call composition. Composition is all about how you construct your image, how you place the composition, how you set the camera up so that you intentionally have everything within that frame. Now, Gregory Crewson is, I would say, he's like the godfather of composition. He creates these really elaborate cinematic images, and they're a single frame, but they look like they belong to a film still. He's alluding to a story all the time. So everything in that frame is carefully considered. The lights turning amber. There's no chance element there at all. It's very intentional. And Bill Brandt here, we've got this person's ear, but it's shot in such a way it's really quite abstract, and he would play with that experimentation of the human form and get really up close to abstract it. And then we've got this really sensitive image here with Dorothy Lang here with her two children, and the mother, the migrant mother. It just looks really strong, really proud, and really protective of her children. And then here we've got Tom Hunter, who's recreating the composition, borrowing the composition from a Vermeer classical painting. And this shows this woman exactly in the same composition, position as the painting. So when you look at Tom Hunter's work, you're immediately reminded of these classical paintings. So one of the most important components of photography is its composition. It's the way the whole picture works together. It's how it visually hangs together to convey its message. here we've got lovely use of colour here. So another example, very strong, bold colours, really intentional, rich. And here we've got composition as well. So you can see there's different elements within the image here. So we've got line, we've got the horizon line that sort of kind of holds or the image almost. And here you've got the shape and the tones in the clouds. There will be texture as well coming through from some of the trees here. And then the patterns as well of the leaves. So often most photos will have an element of almost all of the formal elements. You just naturally do. So your summer project is this. What I would love you to do is I want you to all take a really strong photo of each of the formal elements. Now, you know, take quite a few photos. I take a lot of photos. If I'm doing a portrait of someone, I will easily take 200 photos. And it won't take me long. I'm shooting it digital, but it just means I'm moving around the person or the subject of what I'm photographing. So think about fill in the frame, make the images look intentional, so it's really obvious. So they're like graphic close-ups. Make sure your pictures are sharp. Take your time when you're taking your pictures. And don't just shoot from your eye level. Shoot low. Think about different vantage points, different positions that you're in when you're taking pictures. Maybe you're aerial, looking above, looking down on something. Maybe you're looking from down, looking up. So be playful with your images and don't give it all away. Make them look intriguing. And when you've taken these photos, I would like you to present them in a PowerPoint. Now we use PowerPoint a lot on the photography course. It's a simple way to format our work. We've also got Google Slides, so we can share images that way, but you can format your PowerPoint just as my student has, and then you can present them, but make sure you take care over your presentation as well. Okay, so follow the guide that I've embedded in this of my students' work, but as long as the content is there. So what I want you to do is write a couple of lines about how the photo shows the formal element, and then describe the formal element. And then please also link your work to one of the research artists relating to the formal elements. So those are the ones that are included within this short video. Okay, so take your time, and it's very obvious. I can immediately see when a student's taken care over a photo, because it grabs your attention. If you've rushed it, then often my eye won't even look at it. It won't even rest on the image because it doesn't feel that it's interesting enough. It's not engaging enough. So take your care over your photos. And the next piece of work I want you to do is an A-level photography 30-day summer challenge. Okay, so each day I want you to take a photo from the summer challenge. So the slide next will show you what you need to be doing for each day. And this is to really get you practicing and actively taking pictures every day, because that is what makes you a good photographer, a good artist, a good musician. All of these things is about constantly practicing, refining and developing those skills. So don't think that it's all about being incredibly skillful. It's actually about being dedicated to your work and what you're doing, and just really trying out things. And like I said before, be playful, take risks, try new things that you might not normally do, and you'll surprise yourself. You'll take some fantastic work. So I'm really looking forward to see those images. That would be fantastic. And yes, I will take part in the 30-day summer challenge. I'll see if I can get my daughter on board as well. She's a keen photographer, my daughter Angelica, and she's 10 years old, and she's always taking photos, making videos, making animations. So yeah, I'll get her on board too. So these are the challenges. I will send you a Word document as well, but you'll see here every day there's a different type of photo that I will want you to take. So from a self-portrait to something that makes you smile, and then follow this each day. And then I want you to present this as a PowerPoint too. Okay, so you've got 2 very creative projects there. I'm really looking forward to seeing your work. If you have any questions, you can email me at carolineDial@earlscliffe.co.uk. But I will add that in the video and in the PowerPoint too. Okay, so best of luck, and I look forward to seeing your work in September. So take care, Lynn, take care, Bonnie, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.